Hey guys, and welcome back to AMCi Indie Spotlight. I'm your host, Amirose. This is the show we talk about all those incredible indie films we love so much. This is my last AMCi in the captain's chair. It has been such an incredible journey. More on that later. But I have armed myself with my two AMC loves, starting with my sister from another mister, Alicia Malone.
What? Do a final what for you, Amirose? What?
Yes, I like so much better with her what and Razor Roofs. And the other half, Dennis Tzeng.
I'm sad. Now it's like twice. I have to say goodbye to you twice, so it's twice as torturous for me.
Oh, man. Well, at least we're going to go out on a strong note.
Yes.
So let's jump into a little film news, starting with this. The first trailer has been released for Batkid Begins. This documentary chronicles the day that Make-A-Wish helped bring 25,000 people together to transform San Francisco into Gotham City for a 5-year-old named Miles Scott who was recovering from leukemia. Dennis, what did you think of the Batkid Begins trailer?
Well, it's one of those movies that I know I'm going to see. I'm going to be in the theater, and I'm going to be glad that it's all dark in there because there'll be like something in my eye. I'll be like, oh. Yeah, I really liked it. I like the story of the Bat Kid and how the Make-A-Wish Foundation did all this stuff for him. And I think a lot of people, you know, it got really popular in a very short amount of time. It spread around Facebook and Twitter and all this stuff. And there's obviously there's always people that are going to be haters, right? Mm-hmm. There's going to be people that be like, oh man, how come they're doing all this stuff for this one kid? But it's not really about that, you know? It's about doing this for this kid and kind of inspiration to all other people that are struggling as well.
Absolutely. And we actually had the privilege of seeing it at Bentonville, and I remember when this happened, and, you know, I lived in San Francisco for a time, and I'm very proud. I love the Bay. It's got such a great vibe, and the people are amazing, and I remember when the city came together, and this is a true story of selfless love and support, and it's so beautiful. And to see what, you know, Make-A-Wish, this surpassed all their wildest dreams of what could happen, and it's so topical too right now with superheroes and this little 5-year-old and his journey. And you're right, a lot of people are like, it's a cash grab, but it's a story of hope. It's a story of putting all differences aside and really banding together for a beautiful cause. It's really inspiring, and I definitely cried. And my girl Leash, did you have tears in your eyes? I know it's hard, but
I had tears in my eyes. They may not have fallen from my eyes, but they were there.
There was some watery substance up in here.
It was. Yeah, it was all glazed over, but it was such a sweet movie, really inspiring. The trailer really captures that too. Such a great story of a moment when this whole city came together to play pretend for a kid. And it's so nice, and it reminds you about the power of wishes and the power of dreams. And it also reminds me of the brilliance of superheroes. You know, I'm not the biggest comic book fan, but I like the way that superheroes can stand for so much more. For this kid who's going through a really tough time, to pretend to be Batman, he could call on his inner strength. I think that's really sweet. So I recommend this movie. I want to see it again. It's a well put together documentary.
It's so touching. And yeah, I'm really proud of San Francisco for coming together for this. And I definitely recommend it all for you all to see as well. All right, moving on. The new Macbeth film from Justin Kurzel premiered at Cannes last week, starring Michael Fassbender and Marion Cotillard. This marks Kurzel's second feature, and both have been very violent. In a recent interview, when asked about violence being something that clearly intrigues him, he stated, "I'm interested in how it defines people. I'm interested in how people use it to fill something that's not in their lives. And I think that Macbeth is born out of a world of violence. He's a warrior. He's been surrounded by it, a part of it. That idea that he almost becomes liberated through it and sinks into it, finds a kind of peace in it, was really interesting to me. So I'm interested in how people justify violence. I'm interested in how they use it and how they find a normality in it. I find that when that happens to be devastating, and it definitely interested me in this film." Really fascinating comments here. Definitely an up-and-coming director. He's going to be behind Assassin's Creed as well. So what do you kind of make of those comments?
I like them. I mean, Justin Kurzel, he's Australian, and his previous film was Snowtown. And that is dark and disturbing, the kind of movie that is not fun to watch. I love it. I never want to see it again because it's so dark. It gets you into the mind of a serial killer. But I'm fascinated by violence on screen, the nature of violence, not so much seeing violent acts committed, but just getting into the psychological aspect of what makes someone turn violent. And Macbeth is a very violent play. I mean, it's one of the classic Shakespeare plays. Michael Fassbender was attached to star in it and produce it, and then he brought Justin on board after he saw Snowtown because he knew that he could handle violence in the right way. So I'm all for it. I want to see Macbeth. I was so disappointed. It played after I left, so I was disappointed to miss it. But the reviews have been great, and the clips and the stills and everything I've seen from it looks beautiful and haunting.
Absolutely. Dennis?
Like, yeah, I saw the clips as well, and it looked like Braveheart, you know. Yes. And I like his comments. I haven't seen his first movie, but I like his comments about violence as well, because violence is something that I feel like it's part of humanity and society, and it's a way, you know, unfortunately, it's a way that somehow way people express themselves, but you have to kind of like see it, and you have to try and understand it and why people do that versus try and suppress it, you know, like, oh no, we don't want to see any violence, we don't want to talk about violence. It's part of human nature, and so I feel like he understands that and grasps that.
Absolutely, yeah. I didn't see his first film either, but I mean, Michael Fassbender is one of the best there is right now, and he keeps wanting to work with this guy, and that says a lot about it. But I mean, Macbeth has been done so many times because there's so many layers to this story. It is one of Shakespeare's most famous and most devastating. There's a lot of them, but it's really tragic. And the two of them, they're gonna sizzle on screen together. I'm fast. I actually played Lady Macbeth in school play. Just gonna throw that out there.
Cool. I can imagine.
Can you? Marion Cotillard, thanks. I'll take that as compliment. Yeah, I think what he says is real. I mean, I'm always fascinated with the process of what turns people violent, what turns them evil, what taints them to go on that side instead of this side by spreading love and support. So I just think what he said sounds very real because a lot of people use violence for shock value. And he's using it to explain the darkest parts, like why Macbeth went into this darkness and why he never came out.
And Snowtown, about this awful serial killer. You kind of, oh yeah, you got to see it.
I want to see it.
It's sick.
Yeah.
But brilliant at the same time.
It's one of those movies, like, I feel like I've heard from many people, I don't want to see it again, but I'm so glad I saw it.
Oh, yeah.
And, you know, I just hate when people use things for shock value, and that's not here. He's using it to really elaborate upon the many facets of who Macbeth is and why he descends into madness. So I think he's a very prolific in the making filmmaker. I'm excited to see more from him. All right. So while the unveiling of his new film slate at Cannes, master producer Harvey Weinstein discussed his hopes for Southpaw and Jake Gyllenhaal's performance. He confidently stated, "We'll get revenge. This transformation in Southpaw is amazing. This film is so strong and credible. We believe Jake is a boxer first." He added that the actor's performance is one of his best. So "We'll Get Revenge" is referencing how Jake was snubbed for Nightcrawler. And I think that's really cool because no, it wasn't a Weinstein production, and everyone recognizes that he was snubbed. I mean, many would argue, oh, Yellow was, and many other people, but Jake, to me, I thought he could win it, much less not be nominated for it. So he is just constantly all the steps for his career. This is not rare for a master producer like Weinstein, who has shameless self-promotion, but he also knows when he has an Academy picture, and I feel like they're trying to position this a little bit for that. And they actually got invited to premiere the film at Cannes, but because Gyllenhaal was on the panel as a juror, he thought it was a conflict of interest. So I think that's a really classy move, actually. But, you know, everything that Gyllenhaal does, ever since Prince of Persia, he fired his staff and really retooled himself. He is one of the best out there. And I would not argue. And plus, Fuqua at the helm. I mean, I'm a little upset, and this is a spoiler, so I'm warning you ahead. I know you all get pissed when we don't tell you. But in the trailers, you see that Rachel McAdams dies. Yeah. And I didn't want to see that. I really didn't want to see that because I know that was pivotal to the emotional level and eruption of that character. But I just think sometimes you should let that unravel before our eyes. So that's my only qualm with what I've seen thus far. But I really do believe in what the Weinstein Company produces. I think they really have an eye for talent and for good, passionate projects. And Jake's at the top of his game. I know he broke up with his girlfriend and like was in like the ring 5 times a day, something crazy to really transform into this. So Prisoners, Enemy, it just keeps going and going and going. He's one of the best. So you might like Jake a little bit too. What do you think?
A little bit. I like him. He definitely has an Oscar nomination in his future. He's a great actor. I think he's got a lot ahead of him. I have high hopes for this movie. I love a boxing redemption story. And it looks like, as you said, a complete transformation once again for Jake, not only physically but mentally as well, to play this character. Harvey Weinstein, though, is the king of Oscar buzz.
Yeah.
So he knows what he's doing. He's starting the Oscar buzz early because this film comes out in July. So that's a long road they have till Oscar nominations, and a lot more films and a lot more great performances that could come out before then. So Harvey's just trying to start the buzz rolling, and he's doing his job. I mean, we're talking about it and we can't wait to see him.
Harvey is one of the most feared and respected men in this industry. Dennis?
Well, like you, I thought he was snubbed for a Best Picture or Best Actor nomination last year. I thought he was fantastic in Nightcrawler. In this instance, though, I don't doubt that he's going to be fantastic in this movie. I'm just more worried about the movie itself. Watching the trailer, not that it's a bad trailer, but you see all the familiar beats you've seen in other boxing or even sports dramas as well. So I'm wondering if it's going to be a case like another Weinstein Company movie, which was The Reader, which they were able to get Oscar nomination, and Kate Winslet won for Best Actor. I didn't really care for that movie. I didn't think it deserved to be nominated. So I'm wondering if this is where Weinstein spins their magic and gets this nominated, gets him a win, and maybe the movie itself might just be only okay.
Yeah. I mean, Training Day was really great, but Fuqua hasn't had that many good films in the last few years.
Equalizer was fun, but it's not Academy Award picture. It's just a fun action man like Denzel is great. But yeah, you're right about him. I mean, Benedict Cumberbatch last year, I mean, that film had quite a long run as well, but I agree in The Reader. I liked the book a lot, and I did not like the film adaptation that much, and it was no fault of Winslet, who's phenomenal. But Harvey, you know what you're doing. All right, guys, moving on to our in-theaters roundup portion. A lot of these indie gems come and go very quickly, so we want to make it as accessible for you as possible to catch some of them. So I'm going to run down some of the films either widening up, ending their run, or starting on Friday, so you can hopefully catch them while you can. Also a good movie. Starting with Brothers Keeper. Identical twin brothers are incredibly close until a cruel twist of fate orchestrated by the town's most powerful family forever alters their lives. While they seek vengeance, they learn that forgiveness is the only true way to heal. Then we have I'll See You in My Dreams. Blythe Danner stars in this one, who has earned her a ton of critical acclaim. She stars as a widow and former songstress who discovers that life can begin anew at any age. Then we have Mass, a film out of India that is described as a horror comedy. It's about a man who keeps being followed by three spirits with unfulfilled wishes. Then we have Survivor. V for Vendetta director James McTeague is at the helm for this one, which stars Mila Jovovich as a Foreign Service officer in London who tries to prevent a terrorist attack set to hit New York, but is forced to go on the run when she is framed for crimes she did not commit. Pierce Brosnan also stars in this one. And last but not least, we have Woman in Gold. This is the last week this is expanded. Helen Mirren stars as Maria Altman. She's a Jewish refugee who takes on the Austrian government to recover artwork she believes rightfully belongs to her family. Ryan Reynolds also stars as a lawyer trying to help her fight what is rightfully hers, as well as Daniel Bruhl. So great cast in that one. So Leash, let's start with you. What's either a film you recommend or one that piques your interest?
Actually, I haven't seen any of these,
All right.
which is rare. Mass sounds awesome. I really want to see that one. But I'll See You in My Dreams is the main pick because Scott Mantz and a few other people who managed to see it at Sundance have been raving about it ever since, especially for Blythe Danner. So I'm intrigued by her performance in that. It sounds like that could even be the start of an Oscar-type campaign for her, but it's a long road ahead, but it sounds really fantastic.
And Sam Elliott. I love Sam Elliott. I will always have a soft spot for him. He's like the epitome of like the country western, like strong man. I love him.
A man.
I saw Woman in Gold. I actually over I think for Mother's Day weekend I took my family to go see it, and I liked it. I enjoyed it. I definitely would recommend. It's not like a fantastic masterpiece, but it was enjoyable. And I think I saw the trailer for the, what was it? I'll See You in My Dreams right before Woman in Gold, and I actually am interested in seeing that. Blythe Danner is she's a very likable actress. So likable. We know her from Meet the Parents and Meet the Fockers, but I think this one might be one I'm going to definitely check out.
Yeah, she seems like everything I've heard about the film. It's going to be touching. I mean, the subject matter, but it feels like it's filled with a lot of heart. And I'm always a sucker when it has to do with music as well. Yeah. And she's just delightful, and she's aging so beautifully and gracefully. and it's nice to see an older woman anchor a picture like this. And I already told you about my love for Elliot. I also liked Women in Gold. I found it pretty touching. Helen Mirren, I mean, she's greatest. But Ryan Reynolds, I mean, I feel like a lot of people think he's damn likable, but he hasn't shown his dramatic side a lot. Sure, we've seen Buried and a couple other films you could mention, but he is really, there's one scene in particular I remember where they're having the argument, and I don't want to reveal too much if you're going to see it, but I believed every second of it. And he's really, I think he's talented, and a lot of people just think he's that charming, likable dude, but he really shows his chops on this one. So I recommend that one as well. And Mass does have fun, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
You know who really impressed me in Woman in Gold was, I always forget her name. She's the girl from Orphan Black.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
she
she's
plays the
great.
younger
Yeah.
Helen Mirren character.
And Katie Holmes was like not bad in her 5 scenes she was in. Poor Katie. She has such a bad rap.
Yeah.
Team Katie, just kidding. All right, guys, so moving on to our short film submission segment. I love doing this. I'm going to miss doing this. It has been something I've been so proud of giving aspiring artists a platform out there. Like, we really feel like there's so much talent that comes in here, and I'm just so excited to watch your careers unfold. So in honor of this being my last show, Leisha and I picked the top 3 films of our submissions, starting with number 1, Doorslag. This one was directed by Bastiaan Rook, and it's really interesting. It's basically about, first off, congrats! Yay! So it's basically about 2 brothers, and it's shot really well, acted really well. The thing about a lot of these films is we see the direction, and we see these aspiring artists really taking shape, but some of the acting is not always up to par. And that's okay, it comes with time, but the acting was top notch in this. I believed every second of it. The brothers, the tension, it was really, really well shot, executed, and I really enjoyed this. Really great. What did you think of it, Leisha?
Yeah, an interesting sibling thriller. It's got English subtitles. It's really well made, well shot, well directed. Can't believe you said it was only his second
something like that, short film.
Something like that, because it feels like a proper film.
Yeah. And I believe it was in Dutch, right?
Yes.
Yeah, Dutch. So congrats to you. Next up, we have our second winner. Be Free is the name of the film, directed by Jalen Coleman. Yay! So this one, Leisha and I were talking about this. It's very topical. It's about racial injustices and just everything that's been really prevalent in the news right now with all these horrible crimes we've been hearing that are so unfair, that are really banding together of all races, ethnicities, everything, and being just on that human level that we saw with Batkid Begins, where forget where you're from or what you're about. We all come together in the name of supporting each other on a human level. And this shows it so well, and it's really poignant, really sharp, and really well done.
Yeah, it tells a whole story within, I think, about 6 minutes. It's very emotional, and I like the way they took the topical news story and used it as inspiration.
Yeah. And last but not least, we have 500 Seconds of Summer. You all deserve an applause. So this one was written, directed, edited by Kell. And I don't know when you finished this, but was in high school when we made this, which is baffling to me. And it's loosely based on Mark Webb's 500 Days of Summer, one of our favorites around here. And it's a film noir, really cute, well done. And I read that in his submission that the actual singer of his band was playing Summer in the film, which I really like hearing, and she has a really great voice, so props to you. And again, you're so young, and to have that kind of talent is baffling. So congrats to all of our winners, and keep sending those submissions to amciindie@gmail.com. We're going to keep it going. More details on that at the end of the show. All right, guys. So moving on to our indie pick section, my second favorite segment. I love having every week different topics where we focus on great indies, maybe refreshers of films you haven't seen in a while, or maybe we introduce you to some new gems you have never seen. So this week, in honor of the great adventure I have coming up, I'm going to be gone in Asia for 6 weeks. I'm really excited about it. I'll be shooting my first documentary over there. So I asked my wonderful panelists to pick great films based on travel or adventure. So Dennis, let's start with you. What's your indie pick of the week?
My pick was Into the Wild, directed by Sean Penn, and stars Emile Hirsch. And it's based on a true story about a young guy who graduates from college and he decides to kind of shed all his normal life and attachments. He burns his ID, he sells all his stuff and donates it to charity. It's played by Emil Hirsch. Character, well, the real guy's name was Christopher McCandless, and he travels across North America and meets a bunch of different people, and he just has a lot of different adventures, just kind of living a free life. Who else is in it?
Kristen Stewart for a minute.
Kristen Stewart, yeah, was in it. Catherine Keener.
I love Catherine Keener.
William Hurt. Marcia Gay Harden is in it. And Vince Vaughn as well. I like the story. I mean, besides the fact that Eddie Vedder did the soundtrack. I'm wearing a Pearl Jam t-shirt right here.
How good was that show?
Yes. But I like it because, I mean, when I saw it, I saw it with this girl I was dating at the time, and she felt like they painted his character too much in a good light, but I don't think so, because I think like the conversation he has with Vince Vaughn's character, talking to, you know, Vince Vaughn's like, you're just a kid, you don't know any better, and you know, and then at the end, I don't want to spoil it for anyone because it doesn't end like in a happy note, but he does finally realize something about life and about, yeah, you can go do all this stuff, but also sharing these experiences with people that you love is very, very important.
Absolutely. Such a great film. And Sean Penn, I mean, I feel like a lot of people don't remember that he directed that film because he's such a political activist and an actor first. But I mean, it was beautiful. And that score, I mean, I have it on my iPod. I listen to it a lot. It's really beautiful. And it really makes every beautiful scene come alive. And Emil Hirsch, I mean, he's so talented. And I wish he was a bigger star now. But yeah, that's a really great and really sad as well. And I agree with you about his character. I don't think he was portrayed like that at all. I think he was figuring it out and going on the adventure of his life. So
making mistakes.
Yeah.
Along the way.
Amen to that. What's your indie pick?
My indie pick is Vicky Cristina Barcelona,
So
which I watch every time before I go on a big trip. I just watched it before I went to Europe recently. Woody Allen's film from 2008 about two friends played by Scarlett Johansson and Rebecca Hall, two very different friends who spend the summer in Spain, and they meet this gorgeous painter played by Javier Bardem, who's so sexy in this movie. They have these great, crazy experiences. I just love the idea of going home from a trip feeling different, and maybe you feel like you've changed. Maybe you're just more satisfied with your life at home than the one you thought you wanted overseas. I think it has a lot to say, this movie, and it's one of the few times that I think the narration works with Woody Allen's movies. And well, he's done quite a few, but sometimes they don't work. But this is an example of one time it does. And the soundtrack I love too.
So good.
It's gorgeous. It's
that
beautifully
movie.
shot. I love Barcelona. Yeah.
Me too. Barcelona.
Barcelona.
I love it. There's so many films that I see that I'm like, oh, this is great. You know, that's fun. I want to go do this. But that I'm like, I want to go back to Spain.
Yeah.
It just like invades your soul. And I just love, and Penelope Cruz.
Oh, she's so
I mean,
gorgeous.
she's so good. It won her the, you know, supporting actress that year, as she well deserved. But yeah, I loved it. I absolutely love that movie. I know you liked it too, right?
No, I actually haven't seen it.
No,
I haven't seen
you
it. It's
gotta
one of
see
those
it.
on my
Done.
lists. Yeah, with all those beautiful ladies that are in it, you'd think I'd
Yeah.
seen
Come
it already,
on.
but no.
Come on. All right. Well, you have
on.
homework.
Yes.
All right. See, that's why Indie Picks is here. Refresher
Yes.
for even our panelists. Okay, mine is Tracks.
Yeah.
So I recently caught this one. It is on Netflix. Mia Wasikowska and Adam Driver star in this one. It's about a young woman who goes on a 1,700-mile trek across the deserts of West Australia. So Leash likes it already.
Yep.
With 4 camels and her faithful dog. This one is, opposed to Wild, where you really understand her motivations. Her mom dies. She goes into a life of like drugs and crazy sex and all these things and really needs to find herself because she loses herself. This is a little less clear about her motivations, which I kind of like. She just felt the need to do this. Have you seen it yet?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I just thought, I mean, Mia Wasikowska, she's a star, and she is just taking such amazing risks with her career. It's amazing to watch. She does the big budget, she does the smaller indies. I feel like this film hasn't been seen by a lot of people, but it's beautiful in the Australian outback, and it's well shot, and it really captures the emotions that arise when you are alone on a journey literally in the middle of nowhere. So I thought it was beautifully shot, well acted. Adam Driver, he's not in it a ton, but he definitely adds something to it. But she's a marvel. And it's tedious at times, but you never get bored because of just everything in front of you and the many layers that it brings up.
Yeah, Mia, she's such a beautiful actress, and she went to my school in Canberra.
There you go.
She's a bit younger than me, so I didn't know her at school. But this movie really showcases her talents. It shows Adam Driver once again.
Yeah.
We keep saying, he's not just the guy in Girls. He's got many layers to him, and this is another one. And it's just beautifully shot. A lot of people don't realize how many camels there are in Australia.
Yeah, I had
a
no
lot.
idea. And they actually educate that in the film. I was like, I'm learning something here too. So I recommend that. As I mentioned, it is on Netflix. So you can definitely catch it. All right, guys, moving on to our mailbag portion. If you have a question for us, go ahead and send to amciindie@gmail.com. Our first one comes from Anthony Williams, who wrote, "Hello, Spotlighters. I absolutely love the show, and my question is about Cate Blanchett. Recently, her newest movie, Carol, opened in Cannes, and Blanchett once again received critical praise for her performance, and that got me thinking. What's your favorite Cate Blanchett performance, and do you think she's the best actress working today?" She is definitely one of the best actresses. I think when I really think about that, it's Meryl Streep and Cate Blanchett. And Julianne Moore is up there too, but the two of them, they just completely transform, and you don't see an inch of who they are in that. They are that character. She has so many. Like, if you look at her portfolio, there's not one film where I'm like, why did you pick that? Like, she's just phenomenal. Elizabeth is one of them. She's just breathtaking. I'm a history buff, so seeing that part of a very pivotal, crazy part of history with the Queen Elizabeth, like, and her rise to fame and just like power and just all the sacrifices she made, she just brings all of that eloquence to the role. Obviously, Blue Jasmine, that's what won her the Oscar. Yeah. And it's a sad, crazy character, and you don't even realize that she is the cause of her own demise. And as it starts unfolding, and only she's that movie. That is her movie. It's baffling. It's one of the best Woody Allen movies in years. Yeah. And the last one I'll mention, because I don't want to list her entire resume off, is Katharine Hepburn in Aviator. Katharine Hepburn was as strong and badass as a woman and classy as it gets, and she brought all of that vitality to her. Yeah. And obviously Babel. Okay, I keep going. I'll stop. But she's just so good. So out of all these, I would say Elizabeth, because it's just, that is a really large undertaking. And again, to show that pivotal time in history, the rise, the fall, and everything of her succession is crazy to me. But all the other ones I mentioned are crazy. I know you love her. And you saw Carol.
Yeah, I saw Carol, and she's fantastic as always. I mean, you always know when you go into a Cate Blanchett movie that she's going to be great. My favorite is Blue Jasmine, because it just walks that fine line between funny and tragic. Her character is so delusional and really vulnerable. You root for her at the same time. You're annoyed by her. And as you said, she is the making of her own demise, but the ending of that movie just punches you in the gut. And it wouldn't have been half as good if you didn't have an actor as good as Cate Blanchett to be able to pull off all those layers.
Well, you guys have chosen mine. My favorite one is Blue Jasmine, as her as the lead. She plays that kind of narcissistic yet neurotic person so well. Yeah, and you're right. Like, you are annoyed by her, but at the same time, you want her to get better.
Yeah.
Yes. And then the one you mentioned, her cameo in The Aviator by Scorsese was fantastic. She's only in it for like a few minutes, but she like kind of steals the screen when she's on. She's definitely one of the best. I don't know if she's the best, but she's one of the best actresses today.
Who's the best?
It'd have to be Meryl Streep.
Yeah.
So.
Streep, yeah. But hard
Eat, Sleep, Meryl Streep.
Eat, Sleep, Meryl Streep. It's hard not to do an imitation of someone like Katharine Hepburn when she has such a distinct voice, but Cate managed to make her a realistic character.
She really did.
Yeah.
She's so good. Even Cinderella, like the latest.
Yeah,
Stepmother. I mean, and just every time she's on screen, I'm just like, all eyes on Cate. Like, it's
beautiful.
Beautiful. Amazing. All right. The next one comes from Kanzinya Bazan. Sorry if I butchered your name. I love you. Hello, AMC crew. He gives me a nice shout out. Thank you. You're my source where I discover new, powerful, and inspiring indie flicks to watch.
Yay.
I wanted to ask if you sometimes feel bad when you see that a film is actually good and it's original, well executed, written well, etc., but you ended up not liking it. I'm so displeased with myself for not liking Ex Machina. Do you have such movie examples? Keep up your amazing work. Thank you so much for the support. I think this is a really interesting question, and I think that it shows a lot about just you as a film goer who can appreciate that this film might be good, but it just doesn't hit or resonate with you. I think that's all part of the fun of film. I mean, sometimes a movie, you just go into it with low expectations, and I think expectations have a lot to do with it, because Ex Machina, if you just saw this recently and you heard it's one of the best films around, it's hard for that not to be tempered with, like it's difficult. I personally absolutely love the film, but to each their own. I mean, there's not a wrong or right viewing of film, and that's, I think, the beauty of this. Some things just really hit to your experience or to your love or where you're at in your life, and some just don't. But I think it says, again, a lot about who you are if you can separate that. We talked about this actually at lunch, like with I'm a big Lakers fan, and yeah, they're awful right now, but some people don't like Kobe as a person, but they can acknowledge that he is an absolutely amazing, one of the best NBA players that they've ever had. You can separate that. And I think that's really important, to be a critical and supportive just person of the arts in general, sports, whatever facet or genre, whatever you're exploring. I think that's really important, to be able to see the work. I do that with music a lot as well. Like, I don't like death metal and blah, blah, but I can recognize that they are probably the best musicians out there because the pace and the structure and everything of the song. So I think it's very important to be able to be critical and see the positives, but also make up your own mind and not just jump on the bandwagon of everyone loved it, it's a great film, but you can acknowledge that it was well made, it just didn't hit you personally. So I think that's a really interesting question. Leash?
It is interesting because sometimes every facet of a film can be great, but for some reason for you it just didn't gel, it just didn't come together. Like recently I saw Louder Than Bombs in Cannes, and that stars Jesse Eisenberg and Gabrielle Byrne, and it's got this great cast, and if you break it down to each individual part of it, it's all good. But I just, as the whole thing, I was like, I didn't really like it, but some people loved it as well. And we saw Moonwalkers South by Southwest, and it's really hard to pinpoint why we didn't enjoy that film as much as we maybe could have, because everything was great.
Yeah.
But so it's a little piece of magic, and I agree with you that hype can ruin it, because I know a lot of people who saw Boyhood quite late were like, what's the big deal?
Yeah, it's a gimmick, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, expectations are hard. I really try to not read about it if I can. It helps.
I also really like Ex Machina, but there's nothing wrong if you don't like it. So for me, it's not necessarily a particular film, but it's a particular filmmakers. And not that I don't like their movies, I just don't love them like everyone else loves them, and that's the Coen brothers. I can recognize the direction's fantastic, the acting's fantastic, the cinematography, like everything about what they do is top level, but their movies just don't resonate with me.
I love them so
yeah,
much.
so that's one that but I don't dislike their movies. I just don't love them.
They don't
like
do it for you.
Yeah, exactly. And you just got to be honest with yourself.
But Tarantino does.
Yes.
Phew. No, I get that, and that's the beauty. There's so many films. We have mainstream, we have indies, we have every genre, and there's something for everyone. That's why I love being a film fan of all genres. It just makes it really exciting. So that will do it for our show today. As mentioned, this is my last show, and it's just seriously appreciate your support and your love through all these years. It's very bittersweet. I'm going, for those who don't know, because we have been still receiving some comments that people didn't see the announcement, but I am leaving to start my own production company called Radiant Jane Productions, and I'm going to make impactful films, documentaries, events, just a bunch of different good stuff that really hopefully just connects people through art and film. I really believe in that deeply. But I literally, my life has been so much richer because of all of you wonderful fans and all my coworkers, and I'm really, really proud to announce that my lady in arms, my lady love sister from another mister, is going to be handing off the torch to my girl. Here it is. And she's going to be keeping AMCi going, and there is not anyone better for it. You are such a class act. I have loved working with you so much. We are the same brain in so many ways, and it has been such an honor, and I'm so excited for you to carry all our good work off. So,
well, this is bittersweet because I'm so excited for what you're about to do, but I don't want to lose you from sitting next to you every week, although we'll see each other all the time because we're great friends. But I don't think people realize out there how this show wouldn't exist if it weren't for you, Amirose. I mean, you've been campaigning for this show for years, and you finally got it up, and in each and every week you've been producing and hosting and pushing new initiatives, and it's really amazing to watch you do this over the last, what has been like 7 or 8 months.
Yeah.
And it's been so much fun for me to be part of it. So I'm going to continue the show. It won't be the same without you, but I'm going to do my best to make you proud. But I wanted to do a little something to put together a little sort of highlights piece to show how much fun we've had, how much passion and intelligence you bring to the show, and some of the different things that you've started on this show. So it's nothing flash, but here is my little highlights piece saying goodbye to Miss Amy Rose.
Welcome to AMCi Indie Spotlight. I am so happy to welcome you to our very first show where we'll be talking about indie films and why they're so important. Here to kick things off, I have, of course, my lovely sister from another mister, Alicia Malone.
I hope that's what my title says below, because it is now my official title, isn't it?
I hated Tree of Life.
Me too.
No, I didn't.
I was trying to be all deep and philosophical, and it wasn't.
There's a party going on. Welcome to Sundance 2015, friends.
It's about keeping his artistic integrity and also trying to win and please people.
Shoulder shimmy time.
I did not get the memo about the shoulder shimmy. I'm not right.
It's not too late. You got it.
You can do it,
There's a bear behind us. There's a bear. It's hard to bear it out here.
You just show these real breathing characters. So what is a good character to you? How would you define that?
Well, a good character is someone you love as a screenwriter or as a director.
We've been taking your short film submissions, which just makes me so happy to give you guys a platform, and we've seen so many talented, aspiring filmmakers, and we're going to keep this going.
You should probably talk about doing something where, winners for your contest here get shown at some screenings at the festival.
Oh,
Something
hey
to talk
guys,
about.
you hear that?
Something
Making
to
magic
discuss.
happen on
Yes, something to
AMCi.
discuss.
Well, the weirdest thing happens to me when I watch scary movies. My coat just goes over my eyes.
It does.
I can't see anything. It's so strange.
Like, I know a lot of people have problems with remakes, and I want to tell those people to shut up.
So I'm not anti, all right, mister?
See,
I'm not
see.
anti-remakes,
I
but
am.
in general,
See?
I don't like them either. I'm trying to be diplomatic, but you know where I fall. I have a good review again coming for another one we caught today.
I just saw a dog in the snow.
Dog in the snow. I also think it's really important to just focus on making the best work possible.
It's day 4.
It's day 4.
We're very tired.
Little sleep, little to eat, but we're going strong.
It was exhausting, but really incredible to be. I don't know what that was. I couldn't finish your sentence there because it surprised me. There's a lot of BS that comes with this industry, and there's a lot of superficial, inauthentic layers. But there's also a lot of depth and beauty and humanity going on behind the scenes.
Dog in the snow.
Dog in the snow.
I don't know if it's going to make a lot of Monet at the box office.
Nice.
Well,
Come on!
That was
Come
good.
on, guys!
That was good.
I've been waiting for that moment all day.
Hype man.
Hype man.
The hype
The
man!
hype man. Yeah.
Is it going to make a lot of Monet? Oh, so good. You had to say it
That was
twice.
good.
And he came to show his mom Nevermind to play it for her. And she wasn't excited for him. She was nervous. She's like, this is about to change. I have chills again. She's like, this is about to change everything, and I'm scared for you.
Great job, Amirose. I love this show.
Yay!
So much fun.
I'm so excited about the show. And thanks for sticking with us on this adventure.
Rawr.
So much fun.
So sweet, and I'm gonna miss you guys, and literally you too. Let's hold hands.
I wish I was there with you guys at Sundance.
Next year.
It looked just like so much fun. You guys look like you're having a blast.
Maybe we can go for my film next year.
Yes.
Yeah. I like it. Get started.
Oh man, well, I'm so proud and I just love you guys, and I'm so excited to see just this continue with you. It could not be in better hands, and I'm gonna miss you guys. But you're in my lives forever.
Yeah.
Like this is
We'll
just,
see.
and I'll still be on social media, and hopefully you guys will love the content I'll be producing and directing and writing soon. So thanks again for everything. I will miss you guys, and AMCi will be back next week with my beautiful sister from another mister, Leash at the helm. So with that, I close my final episode. Thanks again. Where can people find you online, girl?
You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, Instagram, Facebook, etc., at Alicia Malone.
Yay, the wonderful Dennis Tzeng.
You can find me on Twitter at ThinkHero or on Instagram, dennis.tzng, and we're going to miss you.
Yeah,
Rose.
we'll miss you.
And you can find me at Amirose. I'll be posting crazy things from my journey, but I'll also be disconnecting, so don't expect too many. But when I come back, I want to share that doc with all of you. So thanks again. Subscribe, like, you know the deal. Send those short films. Alicia's going to keep it going, and all your questions to AMCi Indie. And I'll see you soon. Bye.